because the A side is wide open. The Vice utility is there, of course, but nobody will anything off the back of it. The door opens and the Thorns activate. This may send MIBR back towards this B side. You really want to play that Vice setup, but you don't know how many players are there. It could be easier to go for the split, but that will work in all gamers' favor.
The terrifying thing as well is, if anything, if you're MIBR, you want those more contacty plays, because the retakes coming out from all gamers have been their best work. Nice shot from Tex though. He was under serious pressure and manages to get rid of Fangir. He's been the tip of the spear in all of the retakes. Think about it, using that overdrive, getting in their face while they put the ults through. Him being gone could give them another opportunity.
Well, that's it. We were waiting. What happens when Fangir goes quiet? Well, now a 4v4, and it's all gamers' chance to break back into this. A Sea's nade thrown down below, a slow at least to buy some time, and the Paranoia does the same. The clock keeps ticking, and now Kira finds the first shrimp with another. Okay, the number's thin, and MIBR are left with just second, standing against the rising tide of all gamers. The tap on the spike, the swing needed. Now it's already half. He'll get the first, but he won't get anything else. All gamers wash MIBR away. 15 to 13, taking the lead and taking the dub moments later.
And it's another nightmare that's probably going to keep MIBR up at 9. A second defeat at overtime on Lotus in just a matter of days. But it shows the resilience of all gamers. We said it at the beginning of the game. I think a lot of teams come in, especially teams with high caliber players who've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and go up against this squad and feel like it's going to be an easy road. And every single time they prove it doesn't matter the opponent, they are able to take it close. They're able to battle and brawl. And well, in map number 1, they're able to take the dub.
You maybe say there were signs of it up against Heretics for this squad, but now for MIBR, it looks like Lotus might be a bit more of a weak point than we expected, but that's not for us to say. Let's hear from the big brains over on the desk with Digo.
Thank you very much, Mitch and Tom. Great call, and yet again, in overtime, it's heartbreak for MIBR on Lotus. They fall to AGAL, who clutch it out. And I just need to go back to round 22, 23, and 24. Those final 3 in regulation, they were absolutely crazy as we welcome back to Coop in big time. Both teams having hero moments, number disadvantages, crazy headshots, and still go to overtime. It goes all the way to AGAL.
And that was a fantastic game to watch. That's what we talk. When you talk about heroes, when you talk about the storylines here at AWC, look at a man like Fangir. This guy came to play today. After the last, after the rest of the group stage, everyone's talking about GRQ. Everyone's like, oh, GRQ might be the guy for this whole gamers team. He comes in and goes, no, it's all about me, guys. Take a look at my neon. Look what I can do. Look how I can make this operator work. MIBR had no answers, and they have, when we talk about the all-star operator players, they have the guy. They have Aspas.
It is him. It do be him. Seriously, what a fantastic show and what a dominant also start of the map. Do not forget, at the end of the day, as we said, they are coming in as being the underdog. MIBR should be the favorite here, but we have to say, all gamers, not for a second, not in this match and not in previous matches, have shown any kind of fear to the opponent that they have in front of them. And what a moment also to be here and be able to witness the way that they were playing it, the way they were celebrating once they managed to get into overtime and get them and save that spike run that was absolutely insane. From then, the momentum was on their side.
Yeah, I mean, I think they stole away so many rounds. Fangir did it. The rest did it. My mind goes back to that 5v2 retake MIBR had, but they got shut down because the individual prowess on this AG team. And MIBR couldn't hang with them in the server there, which feels insane to say when we look at the names on this MIBR squad. Now, don't get me wrong, Aspas really pulled his weight. So did Tex, someone who's had a little bit of a slower tournament. But he did a great job on that cypher. But ultimately, it's not enough here on Lotus, and this is MIBR's map pick.
Yeah, and I know Verno is IGLing this squad, but he was at 1-9 in the first half.
Tough.
It's very difficult to get yourself across the line. He finishes 10-19, so carried a little bit more, at least going 1-1 in the second half, but it was such a slow start from him.
Seriously, the resilience that all gamers is showing, if you add that on top of getting in the head of your opponents, like for example, Verno must have not been having a very good time at the beginning of that map. If you add on so many of the circumstances that they were able to turn around, where they were one man down, did not matter. The refacts came in very fast. Something also that Tom was highlighting, how Fangir was so proactive even when it was time to flood, when it was time to retake, again, so on top of their game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so impressed. I think especially the macro in that first half for all gamers. I think when people talk about the CN region, people often don't mention macro, right? It's sort of not what they're known for, and if anything, they're put down about it internationally. But I didn't get that impression at all. And even when we watched all gamers against Heretics, I feel like game planning is very, very strong. I'm very enormously impressed with this roster.
Man, what's happening with Lotus?
It's always OT.
If you want to be here forever, pick Lotus, because there has not been like maybe one team, wasn't it? Well, BBL, no? Bar?
There was the play those last couple of rounds there with the 3K that kicked it off, and then Tex clutches it out, and then of course the stun during the plant gets the kill, waits out the timer, does AGAL to force overtime, and then Aspas getting this opening kill here in overtime. We think this is it, but AGAL battle back on that round as well. It was a fantastic map of Lotus.
Again, it's all gamers, so the shooting is going to be absolutely incredible. That is, the show is guaranteed when they are on the stage. It doesn't matter if it's against Team Heretics, now against MIBR. I think that after getting and saving that round, Fangir was like, I am not losing.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
These are the type of games that make me love Valorant. When you have those moments where someone is able to step up, be that hero. I love watching it unfold on the stage. MIBR have to find a way to bounce back here, or they will be eliminated from EWC.
And as always, like I like to do on my desk, I do the callbacks. And you said earlier, we talked about DRQ, we talked about Shrimp, we gave shout-outs to Kira, but you're like, Fangir's the guy that normally is here for this roster, hasn't had that opportunity yet, but he does so here today.
I think he showed just how capable he can be. That's what we saw from them at the start of the year. That's what we were all expecting to see in Santiago, but they couldn't make it work over there. You know, the one win, but ultimately not enough for them. But right now, if he can continue this form that we're seeing from him right here, I think his name will become bigger and bigger. One map away from playoffs now. He might have a shot to do this on the biggest stage.
KC Academy, what can I say? It's all the talent comes from EMEA. We just nurture all of them. It's good to see though the Fangir, because as you're saying, the beginning of the year it was his Rion.
Yes.
He played so incredibly well, and he was the difference maker in this team. Everybody tries to speak English for him. He's learning a little bit, you know, here and there, but he's definitely worth the effort.
Well, MIBR now down to their last loss before leaving EWC 2026, but their guns can change their fate. Will they be able to do so? We'll find out after the break. You're watching EWC 2026 Valorant.
City, powered by play.
built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
The final opportunity for VCT China to have representation in the EWC playoffs is up to AGAL, and they're on the right start. 1-0 over MIBR Los. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time. That was a lot of acronyms that I just did, Big Time. However, there is no question about what I mean, which is MIBR. I have their backs against the wall and need to figure it out.
Yeah, look, this is a fantastic roster. We all know it. We all know how. Everybody knows this name. If you know Valorant, this is a squad that should be amazing. This is a squad that should be winning. It's a squad that should be lifting trophies, but they're not managing to do it. It looked like maybe EWC could be different after that opening game, smashing through Global Esports, but then they dropped to the lower bracket. Now it's ultimately backed against the wall for this superstar, high-powered squad, perhaps going out to all gamers of all teams, which is not something you would ever expect on paper.
Stop disrespecting all gamers. They have all of the gamers. They're here to win, okay? No. I get it, because I think that we've had this happen previously in Valorant, you know, where we have squads that have very good names, players that have performed incredibly in the past. And I think that there is a very big difference between not winning trophies, not this and that, big groups. That is a big difference. And you can say whatever you want, you can think about form, you can think about whatever. The years have been fairly similar. If you were in top 4 in the last global event, what were you doing? What were you doing? Like, what is the excuse?
Sat at home.
To not give it your everything here.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think for me, it doesn't even matter how the rest of this series shakes up. All gamers have a new fan in me today. I will be watching quite seriously from now on, because I think they've shown that they can hang with the very, very best. I've been so impressed with the macro, the IGLing, leadership, the backroom staff, the game planning is rock solid, but then also you add on to that the firepower, the flashy plays, Fangia's ability with the GRQ when he's on top of the world, he's looking brilliant. So I think this is a squad that can really make some damage here at EWC.
Especially when you have a lot of the big names have already gone out and now are making space for a name to be made, like for AGAL, when Fnatic doesn't qualify for the tournament, when Paper X goes crashing out, when RRQ doesn't have it going as well. Now is an opportunity for AGAL to step up.
Yeah, not to mention EDG and XLG, right? They had fantastic performances over in London. They re-put CN back on the map, but it's those two that are already out. They don't have that chance. Now it's all gamers having to fly that flag for VCT CN. Can they bring that representation to the playoffs as we move across here onto Split?
Yeah, and all gamers decided this, they picked this map, as you can see in the graphic right now for the side of MIBR. They played it last in the qualifier here to EWC versus Leviathan. For all gamers, they won on it against Global Esports. They already have a little bit of a rep. To me, it has to be about keeping the confidence. We were speaking about GRQ, the cheeky plays here and there. Guys, we need to learn how to open angles together. We cannot, one opens, the other one TPs, and there's a third one that just jumps later onto the side. We still need to work on those synergies. I know that the pressure is very, very high onto them. They're still going for the picks, do not get me wrong. And of course, all the pressure right now is on MIBR.
Yeah, I love it that in this map now, the backs are truly against the wall. It's a pure mirror matchup. Fangia is going to be head-to-head against Aspas on that jet. Everybody's going to know how to play this comp. You know what the other team is going to want to do. It's all about execution. It's all about who's performing in the server. No excuses left here.
A mirror match here in map number 2 as we head on over to Split. AGAL 1 win away from getting into the playoffs. MIBR got to dig deep. They were close on their map pick, but now have to come up with the upset. Let's send it on over to Tom and Mitch.
Thank you, D-God. All gamers, one back to the good stepping into split, Tom. This is definitely a step up from them. MIBR, a team that I think almost everybody expects to see in playoffs. But now, they're in danger of going out the roots.
Yeah, I think especially getting to this stage, you put them up against all gamers. And I think, again, if you've not watched much of all gamers or only seen a little bit of Santiago, you might be like, okay, yeah, they beat one team here and there, but then they weren't able to take anyone else down. This squad is looking legit at the moment. Like, a lot of depth of talent. I think especially we didn't see the best game from Shrimp, but there were definitely other players that stepped up. I think it was fantastic earlier in the tournament. Bangir just had probably his best map of the tournament so far. And we look at the other side and like, Aspas was still performing well. Tex had a great map. It wasn't enough to get them over the line on their own map choice. And now coming into Split, still, it is their own choice. But I think it's one where they have looked relatively comfortable in the past, like going head-to-head with some really good teams regionally. It's just whether or not, like, if they're going to have enough to take us to a third map.
It's crazy to lose a game as well. In that last one, MIBR went plus 10 on opening rules between Tex and Aspas. Yeah, like it's wild to have it spin back in favor of all gamers like that, but like you said, Fangir was that savior, pulled back so many of the rounds for them. MIBR starting the attack side here and wasting no time getting into the A side. Spike still needs to go meet the rest of the squad. I know Smokes, they're not going to last forever. Finally, they will make it through. The nick of time. Just found them. They were hoping some all gamers would give them a fight, give them a scrap. Now they have to go looking for a deep push in towards the spawn. They've got a foothold now. Now it's more on all gamers to fight back.
Oh, they've lost screens. Reclaiming that is going to be difficult. Vi was waiting for them to try and make the move round to heaven. Now the plant is not the greatest for the side of MIBR. In fact, I would say it's a pretty poor one already to half. They need to get a move on. They're just looking to try and defuse it in front of their noses, and nobody gets anywhere near it. MIBR was so ready and raring to try the wraparound, but the plant just wasn't for that position.
That's the danger. They planted for backside. Remember, those smokes were fading by the time that they pushed in. It was a couple seconds left on them, but not enough to go planting up for heaven. A piece of utility to disrupt, and all of a sudden you're on the back foot in the round. So instead, they take a safe plant and try to use those sky flashes to fight deep into the spawn. Sure, it works out, but like you said, plant isn't for there. And the second that all gamers get some presence on the site, get boots on the ground, it already flips things massively in their favor. That is a big pistol pickup. Fangir again showing that he's still got chops in this mirror matchup. And an eco coming out of MIBR. That's a spam on the back of the tab. GRQ doesn't get anything for it, and hold on. Now he's in danger, never mind. He'll go down eventually, but the work has been done.
Yeah, comfortable in the end. I think as well, that one thing I'm loving the most about Fangir is I think there would be a lot of people who go into this game and go like, look at the careers of the players on the other side. Like, these players that have been champions, that have won champions, won masters. Like there's so much depth in terms of who has been there, done that, got the t-shirt. And Fangir doesn't care. Not even for a second. Like he's like, I'm not gonna stick this. You guys are nearby. No, I don't. Like it is just a confident player. No matter who he is up against. It's got to be tough to play against. Now bear in mind, a few rifles kept over into this round, and SMG survived, but there's definitely some vulnerabilities, and because of that, the defense are going pushing.
All gamers not scared of their opposition, that is for sure. It's a blitz, but Zeno is ready. Plenty of backup there. I don't want to see him push that with the spike, and thankfully he does cancel that aggression. Time to flee, but MIBR show no signs of running away, of turning tail. Instead, looking to fight their way back through. The dog's going to make it awkward. The stun on Shrimp ends his life after one good trades. MIBR to start. And the main thing about this is it's dangerous when that low light comes running at you. It's dangerous when some of your players can potentially be isolated, but MIBR stayed calm and just clumped together to deal with it, obviously with the exception of Tex, who was the flank control.
I liked as well that Werner was just happy to go, I'm going to paranoia my own teammate because he's close enough that it doesn't matter and I don't want to die. So clearly happy to hold their ground, and hey, I don't mind it for all games. You got a weaker buy with SMGs, and I don't think they had one like full price rifle. just go for something risky. Catch them, but have a far higher chance to win the round.
Also, it's good limit testing as well. Like, something like that, you just see what do the opponents do. Like, if they hear 4 of us rushing and they instantly run to the A site, then we know that a little bit of early aggression could potentially push them into our heavier setup if we want. But I think it's a really good idea to get aggro, but MIBR tame that aggression beautifully. That's a rifle now. He's just going to pop the snake pipe and run for the hills.
Really not bad in terms of a low buy. You get out with an extra gun, you drop 2 of their guns. For MIBR, they'll probably be quite happy with that as well. 3 players alive versus the low buys. They've definitely had some troubles here and there with losing players to pistols, so I don't think either side are going to be too disappointed with that one. But there you go, there's the paranoia just going there. Voto's like, screw it. If they're going to run at us, they're at least going to be blind while they do it. This is where the game really should get going. Rifles across the board. Even a outlaw banger to play. Seems like there's heavy shots across the board though. There's not going to be an insta-kill. In fact, he's not going to land the shot at all.
Tigers' movement to get out was nice, but Verno is hot on their heels. And MIBR, they have made this one look incredibly easy. Running it down on that A site and taking every fight with great success. And another sign that's important, Verno online early on, like you said, you know, really tough start. The desk talked about it as well, but he certainly didn't let that knock his confidence. You can see him straight up into heaven for that brawl. And JRQ finds Aspis at least. That's some sort of free basket. They'll throw themselves at this just to look for that. It's the start. Aspis wants to. Where they could force buy around it, especially with the validity of like a judge on this map, for example, playing up in heaven. But I think, yeah, playing around those rifles and saving up for the net.
The other thing as well, I want to bring it up with you mentioning Verno. I think that ultimately, on the attack side of the last map, he was okay. It was the defensive side where they were being pushed and pulled across. So the fact that they've got that attack side start might actually help him out individually, because he can now just go like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm TPing up, I'm making these aggressive plays, I'm taking space alongside Aspas and being a thorn in their side rather than trying to figure out what the opponents are doing. And well, you mentioned it, it is more of that half buy. 3 rifles in play. One of the pistols already dropped to the deck, and the B side completely under the control of the attack.
Fangir's trying his best to get a pot shot or 2 off. And indeed, a walk up from Bai is quite impressive. Caught by Aspis for free. When you have those pistols, sometimes you try to take the time to catch someone by surprise, but it hasn't worked out this time around for all games. The 2 rifles that they've got left. Decision carry them through the next time. And they're at least doing that with one of them. Kira's on the A site, and I don't imagine he's going for the latest flank of all time. But for Fangir, he's been good every time. He wants to make it costly, because look at MIBR's credits. Already in an extremely good spot. Winning this round with all 5 alive is going to make this dangerous. The imbalance is going to be stacked against all gamers.